to prosecute. I want to bring in Sian Hall. Now, she's an associate partner at Farleys Solicitors in Manchester in the UK and works in the serious crime department. Sian, welcome to you.
Hi, hello there.
Now, can you talk us through some of the legal issues here? I know that you represent defendants who are charged sometimes with rape and sexual assault. When a victim comes forward, what is the legal system looking at?
The legal system initially is going to be looking at evidence from both parties, and that will start right at the beginning. I must stress that the idea, or certainly what is required, is respect and dignity for any victim coming forward to report any crime, but in particular in relation to sexual offences, and that has to start at the police station. So there are specially trained officers who will take the initial complaint, and that's often video recorded and can be produced in evidence at court to stop the victim from having to then give that evidence in court. So that assists there. Once the allegation has been taken, details of that allegation, then an account is then taken from the person who has been suggested of committing that crime. So that's the very starting point. That's the investigation stage. Then a decision has to be made if there is sufficient evidence to charge the offender with rape.
Do you feel that there is enough support for the victims? We were hearing earlier from Fiona, who was also raped and reported it to the police, just saying that, Fiona, you were saying that they were more focused on trying to catch you out in a lie than trying to sort of really investigate what had happened.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, and that is the experience of all of the women that contact Women Against Rape. They all say the same thing. They report to the police, and the police are either disinterested or they're not gathering the evidence. And more seriously, women in this country now are being arrested, charged and convicted for making false rape allegations. We've worked with a number of women who have actually been convicted of making a so-called false allegation where we don't believe the allegation was false because the investigations we've seen have been so biased. The investigations into the rape that's been reported, in one case, the investigation lasted less than a month into the man, but when they arrested the woman then for allegedly making it up, they poured more resources into that investigation. They investigated her for nearly 2 years. All the money and resources that were put into arresting, charging and trying to get her to court and convicting her for making a false allegation was far more than we ever see.
It's so important that you said that, because here in India right now there is actually a campaign that is trying to gain ground to say that we need to be able to punish false complainants of rape. Now, the point we've been trying to make here is, of course, that there is hardly any law under which there are no false complaints. And yet you single out rape as though women have some kind of inherent tendency to lie, or that rape is something that it is somehow easier to lie about.
But I don't, it's Sue here. To me, it's just a ludicrous thing. I mean, what on earth would anyone have to gain by making false accusations? Like, I mean, if it's revenge or whatever, I think I can think of a lot more easier ways to seek revenge than to, Well,
they account for less than 2% of all reported rapes in the UK. And we believe, through working with women that have been accused of making false allegations, where we believe that their allegations weren't false, we believe that number is a lot lower. But, the media, unfortunately, can often hype these false allegations up. It whips up the whole thing of men must have anonymity because it's a heinous crime and so many women are lying about it. And it is so dangerous, because if we want women to start reporting rape, we need to start with the authorities. We need to make sure that they take rape seriously. When they don't take rape seriously and when they don't do their jobs properly, they need to be held accountable.
But equally though, Sian, I just want to bring you back in. Equally though, clearly the accused have rights and those must also be protected.
Of course they do, but I think, and certainly there have been reports over recent years, that victims do feel a lack of confidence that their attacker will be brought to justice, and that's a matter that has to be addressed. The media interest at present, hopefully, will perhaps give women confidence and perhaps a better understanding of the legal system. And any just legal system around the world has to be able to provide measures and support to ensure that women are not only able but also confident to actually come forward, make a complaint and know that they are going to be supported.